with what we have here today. Any strategy starts with what we know. Strategy cannot be about something that we do not know, and we do not know about the future. So what IBM actually looks and puts as in its strategy, and looks that would be the strategy for the future in IT, is the four things. Actually, it's five, but I will explain. It's four things. One is the mobile, one is the cloud, one is the analytics, and one is the social. The fifth thing is actually the convergence of all of these four things into the one thing.
Thanks for everything you've done.
No worries.
I know that. I know. I hope they started loading. So.
We'll,
Okay.
if you want to do it in Turkey,
So
we'll make sure it's all
I'm
kosher
glad
and
to be with
You
you.
promise?
We'll try. We need to do
Can we
this
just
bigger
okay?
event.
It's 10,000 people, and the whole world is there. So.
It's my pleasure actually to be with you here today. I'll try to not be
We don't.
disturbed by this.
We have 300.
I'm
speakers
coming
over
from
there.
Zagreb. From Zagreb, which is around 6 hours drive from here, and 6 hours and maybe 100 euros in speeding ticket. And actually, what I would like to start with one story. And story is actually a true story. It's my story. It's something that happened last year. It happened to me that I had a car accident. And as a typical IT geek, one of the first things I did, I made a Facebook post. Car crash, total disaster, but I'm okay. In next 2 days, 2-3 days, I collected around 100, 150 likes. I still hope that those likes are not because I had a car accident, it's because I'm okay. By chance, 2 weeks after that, I had to go to my bank. I have the same bank for the last, I don't know, 20 years. I have my personal banker, many transactions I do with them. I usually do not go to the branch. I do not go to visit my personal banker because there's many ways now you can use your bank, but sometimes you have to go to the branch office. So I meet the lady, it's a lady, and you know what happened? She offered me the 16th or 17th version of the credit card combination with some insurance of something that I really don't need. So she didn't have a clue about what really happened in my life. That's okay. Okay, she's not on the Facebook. I was a little bit maybe disappointed. I wouldn't mind to have her as a friend on my Facebook. Why not? I mean, financing and banking, it's also the, I would say, important part of my life. She would be a very good friend of mine, actually. In Croatia, I use my free time also to write. So I write articles, I write some columns, I write for magazines, I write for portals. And I actually write one column about this story, about the bank didn't recognize, do not knowing anything about me. And it was published in the Bank magazine. So Bank magazine is for the financial sector, so all the banks are reading it. It was 10,000 people are reading actually and receiving this every month. So there are chances that actually somebody from this bank also read it. But no. So, okay, we can maybe have excuse that bank is not on Facebook, or it is on Facebook just to make some marketing stuff and stuff like that. But it's not on Facebook in a way to listen to its customers, which is a shame. I mean, we are now in 2014, right? But also, it's a shame that, I mean, we are talking about the paper magazine, so they're not even recognizing what their customers are writing about them, complaining about them. So it's something that really make me thinking about what is my relationship with this bank. What I came out is that basically we do not have a relationship. I wouldn't call it relationship, it's maybe one-way relationship. Basically what we are doing transactions. So we are okay when we are just doing some transactions. I buy something or I pay something and stuff like that. But besides that, there is no relationship between us. What would happen next? I mean, in the next couple of months, I could perhaps got frustrated by the way the mobile application from that bank works. So then you have two things merging together. I mean, bank does not care about me. I'm kind of disappointed to them. And at the same time, some of their services is not working properly. Perhaps I would change that bank. I mean, if the loyalty is only one way, so it will happen like that. And there are many, many examples. This is just my story. I mean, I'm sure you can also recognize some of your stories in your dealing with. It's not just about. It's not critical about the bank. Perhaps the same is with telco, with your retailer, and with others from who you are buying or taking some services. If we could just for a second put ourselves in the shoes of one company, it could be telco, it could be bank, whoever. What have been done in the last couple of years? It's been a huge investment in the opening a new stores, in designing a new, very sexy web pages, in designing a mobile applications, having a call center, putting content in all of this. So we have been doing a lot of things about the content in the past year, making a huge investment in there. And so the customers are actually coming in some way to this company. Eventually somebody will buy something from us, right? What if we would just stay on the level of transactions? So somebody buys, okay, we make a cash, that's it. So I think now it's actually the excellent time to start to think about how to make this not just transactional, but make it kind of the relationship engagement with the customer. So it's okay to start thinking about, okay, what did she buy? Did she buy anything? What did she like? Also, a very good question I like here is, were we nice? Were we nice when we were communicating with this customer? This is my favorite question. It's very important right now because I can choose. I mean, customer could choose. He could choose to go to buy somewhere else. Also, did that customer recommend us on some, I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, or made some bad impression of us, so made some negative reference. So these are all very, 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 very important questions. One of the two maybe really important questions right now raising from that is, do we, through all of these interactions, through all of these different channels, did we actually optimize them? For example, in my case with the bank, was it the optimal interaction that I had with my personal banker? For me, it's not. And I'm the customer, so if it's not optimized for me, so it's not optimized. So whatever the bank thinks it's right, it was not right because I was not satisfied. So there are many ways how we have to, and we really have to optimize across all of these channels. Also, do we have single client view on our client? So it's totally possible. For example, still when I'm mentioning bank, it's totally possible that now you are making complaints on one side of the bank about, I don't know, about the Swiss franc loan that you have, and on the other side, that other side of the bank does not know it. So that when you enter the branch or doing anything with the bank, that you will be even offered with another loan in a Swiss franc. It's totally possible right now. Things are not connected because most of the data and most of these channels are actually sitting in their separate silos. So there's a silos of branch with their data, with their strategy, with their agenda. There's a silos of online team who is dealing with their data for the website of the company, who has its own agenda, its own strategy. These things are usually not connected enough, or not enough as much as our technology and our customers are actually expecting for us. What happens at the moment is that we have actually spent a lot of money and a lot of time in the last years investing into the multi-channel. So we had to build all of these channels. We had to build a channel for the mobile. We had to build the storefront. We have to invest into the social thing of our way how we interact with the customer. And what actually happens right now is a need to go to the omni-channel. All what I'm actually talking is about transitioning from multi-channel to the omni-channel thing. What is the difference? For example, one of the differences regarding difference how we treat the need of the customers with what actually customer want. Here's also one example I will cover. So this is my business card. This is my private card with one different bank. The way I use it is for it's gold because I'm traveling a lot, so I do not want to have some limits and stuff like that, because when you are on travel you could be in trouble. And basically, I'm using it to pay things and to actually take some cash from the ATM machines. What this card can do, this is amazing thing. It can, and I have checked just last night, it can do on the website, it can do 48 different things, 48 features. So there is, okay, this thing with a bank, with paying thing and stuff like that. Also, if something happens with me when I'm abroad and somebody died, they can travel, this guy that is died, to my home country. If I have problem with a plumber, with electricity, so they can also, I can also use this card and I don't know, call the assistants, call them, and they will cover part of this cost. You know what is the problem? I don't need all of that. What I actually want, I want to be able to pay with that. I want to be able to pull some cash with it. I want to have the smaller fee possible. I mean, instead of this all 48 features that I don't need, I mean, I don't really want them. I mean, I just want these couple of similar things. What will happen if some other bank will approach me with just these 3 simple things and will be, I don't know, €3 cheaper per month for me as a through fee? Perhaps I will change it. So there are many ways how you can actually find, not to guess, I mean, what customer would need, but try to find what actually customer want. Also, what is the difference between multi-channel and omni-channel? The most important thing is not about the transactions, like in my story from the beginning. It's about the way how you interact with the customer. There are also some technical things on this slide. I will be glad to skip them, but it's the way how to actually integrate the things and move from what we have as a software-oriented, services-oriented architecture to something how to pull the data and the insight about the customer from the data we have using some context analytics, using big data and similar. One of the best omni-channel definitions I have found, it's now 1 year old, almost exactly 1 year old. It's from The Economist. And basically it's saying that how the interaction with the customer should look like. And basically it's coming to that it looks like you have one single salesman, no matter if you're using a mobile, if you're using a web, if you're going to the store. So that it all looks like one single salesman that can predict what I want and that actually knows what I like. I will leave it for a few seconds just for you to read it, but this is very important. I mean, this comes to every industry. It's not just bank, it's not just telco, it's not just retailer, it's all of them. It's also, if you're not in just this high industry business, it's also about how we should perform in our businesses as well. There is one challenge with all of that. So to optimize every of this experience, you must have some kind of platform for that. From IT perspective, you need to have a platform. Because what actually happens, you have separate system for the web. You have separate system for the sending emails. You have the separate system how you treat and how you do your social. You have totally different silos in IT. And to be able to integrate all of this, you really need to have some kind of the platform. So there's a lot of talking about multi-channel and omni-channel nowadays. But it's basically, the challenge is how to move from something that is a concept and a nice idea, how to move it and to actually realize it. In IBM, what we came out with is the idea of the exceptional digital experience. And what we have is IBM Customer Experience Suite. So it's a set of products. There are different products that this suite consists of that actually forms this platform. And to make it simpler, to simplify it for you, it's all about having the integrated analytics. So you want to have analytics across all things you are doing on the web, all the things that you are doing on your mobile, all the things that you're doing with your CRM data. Of course, you will need to have some business process management because you have business processes inside the company. You want to also have them integrated in your omni-channel strategy. There will be some integrated web content management. Of course, you want to build the best world-class content as well that is integrated with other parts, with the data that is coming from the analytics, with data that is coming from the business process. Also, there's a security. I mean, security is becoming really more and more subject even nowadays. I mean, all the things that we can now do with the mobile also opens the questions about the security. So you want to be super secure, and you want to have integrated security across everything that you are doing with your omni-channel infrastructure. Also, you want to have integrated social. You want to have collaboration so that people can easily collaborate. For example, when they're setting up a new campaign, when they're setting up a new content, you want the people to be able to collaboratively work on new content. And also there is a mobility. Of course there is a mobility. You want to have all of that you have done be able to present it in a mobile world so that customers can take it with you, so that you can take it with you. So now it's lots talking about mobility. So it is one of the most important, I would say, or the more important things that you have to integrate into your omni-channel strategy. IBM is maybe not so marketingly known on the market as maybe some other vendors, but what analytics are actually saying, and for the last many years in the area of both portals, about the mobile, about the business analytics, about the enterprise marketing, is actually putting the IBM in the leaders quadrant for many years. For example, in the area of enterprise social software, now is the IDC. It was the third time in a row that put IBM on the first place. There's also one thing. It's not, when we are talking about reinventing relationship, it's not just about the customers. It's also about your employees. Because happy employee means happy customer. So anything that you can do to have the best possible customer, that you have motivated customer, that you have customer that is engaged, is something that will eventually reflect in your relationship with the customer, will eventually reflect in your sales, in your revenue. And there is some of the steps that IBM has recently take. One of these steps is actually acquisition of the Kenexa. Kenexa is a US company which is specialized in the recruitment and the talent management and this kind of thing of HR management. And with that, IBM actually bought more than 100 PhDs in psychology, because there is actually really strong science behind that. I mean, how are we usually hiring somebody as managers? By feeling, right? That's fine, but that's fine to one extent. There's really science behind all that, how to actually find the best people, how to get the best people on board. There are a couple of perspectives when we are talking about employees, what we can do to actually reinvent the relationship with them. So one thing is how to recruit the best people on the market, especially nowadays when we are having social, when we have LinkedIn, I mean, people are there, so we have to go actually after those people and find who are the best for us. Also regarding the engagement, what we usually have in the companies is coming. Sure, I'm coming. Is coming from the communication that came from email. Email is technology from the 1990s. We have we have mobile, so that's the way how we are communicating inside the company. But also there are one other way, and that is how to use all of that we have in a social area, in the social media, and how to use tools like, for example, IBM Connections is a perfect example of the tools that you can install in your company and start having internal enterprise wikis, enterprise blogs, forums, communities, different kind of things that are actually known to you from the social media can be implemented inside of your company. And basically that's
we're absolutely run out of time, but thanks a lot for the great presentation. And please stay for the discussion panels where we can move on.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.